Every Friday night, millions of us open Deliveroo, scroll for 10 minutes, and pay 17 quid for a curry that arrives lukewarm in a plastic tub. Meanwhile, your fridge is full of ingredients that could produce something better than half the restaurants on your high street. The truth is, restaurant food is not magic. It is fat, salt, heat, and a few tricks you were never taught. Number 18 on this list uses a technique borrowed from French bistros, but it costs less than £2 to make at home. And number 7 is the reason every chippy in Britain charges you 9 quid for something that takes 4 minutes. These are 25 cheap British dinners that taste like eating out, but cost a fraction of the bill. Before we begin, hit subscribe, because your wallet is about to thank you. Number 25. Crispy smoked paprika chicken thighs. Bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs cost about £1.50 for a pack of 6. The cheapest cut on the bird, and the one every chef reaches for when the cameras are off. Pat the skin dry. Rub smoked paprika, garlic granules, salt, and olive oil over every surface. Lay them skin side down in a cold pan and turn the heat to medium. Starting cold renders the fat slowly, and the skin goes glass crisp without burning. Flip after 8 minutes and finish in a hot oven for 20 minutes. The paprika caramelizes into something smoky and sweet. Serve with a green salad dressed in lemon and oil. Under £2 per person. Restaurants charge 12 quid for this. You just made it for loose change. Number 24. One-pot garlic butter pasta. This is the dish Italian grandmothers make when nobody is watching. Boil spaghetti in salted water. While it cooks, melt a generous knob of butter in a wide pan with 4 cloves of sliced garlic. Let the garlic go golden, not brown. When the pasta is a minute short of done, drag it into the butter pan with tongs, bringing along a good splash of starchy cooking water. Toss it furiously. The starch and butter emulsify into a glossy sauce that clings to every strand. Finish with black pepper and grated parmesan. A bag of dried pasta costs 60 pence. Butter and garlic add 30 pence more, under £1 per head, and it tastes like a trattoria in Rome. The secret restaurants guard with their lives is starchy pasta water. That cloudy liquid is free, and it is the difference between greasy noodles and a proper sauce. Number 23. Slow-cooked brisket with onion gravy. Brisket is one of the cheapest beef cuts you can buy, often less than £5 a kilo. It is tough and fatty, which is exactly what makes it brilliant. Season it with salt and pepper, sear it in a hot pan until dark brown on every side, then nestle it into a roasting tin with 3 sliced onions, a splash of Worcestershire sauce, a crumbled OXO cube, and enough water to come halfway up the meat. Cover tightly with foil and slide it into the oven at 150 degrees for 4 hours. Walk away, do the shopping, watch a film, forget about it. When you come back, the brisket will pull apart with a fork, and those onions will have melted into a rich, dark gravy that coats everything. Slice it thick, pile it on a plate with creamy mash and steamed greens. The total cost feeds a family of 4 for about £7. That same plate at a gastropub costs £18 a head, and theirs has not been in the oven as long as yours. Low and slow turns cheap into luxurious every time. Number 22. Egg fried rice. Every Chinese takeaway charges £3.50 for a side of egg fried rice, and most of it arrives claggy. The secret is day-old rice. Cook a batch the night before and spread it on a plate in the fridge. Cold rice fries. Fresh rice steams. That is the entire secret. Heat a wok until it smokes. Add oil, crack in 2 eggs, scramble them fast, then toss in the cold rice. Keep everything moving. Add soy sauce, white pepper, and chopped spring onions. 3 minutes, about 40 pence per portion. The reason restaurants make it well is screaming hot woks and small batches. You can do the same at home if you do not crowd the pan. Number 21. Loaded jacket potatoes. A baking potato costs about 30 pence. That is the foundation of a dinner that can rival any bistro lunch menu in the country. The key is to rub the skin with olive oil and flaky salt, then bake at 200 degrees Celsius for a full 90 minutes. Not 60. 90. The extra time dries the skin into something that shatters when you press it and turns the inside impossibly fluffy. Split it open, crush the flesh with a fork, and load it up. Tinned tuna mixed with sweet corn and mayo. Baked beans with melted cheddar. Coronation chicken made with leftover roast chicken, a spoonful of mayo, a teaspoon of curry powder, and a squeeze of lemon. Each filling costs between 50 pence and £1. The whole dinner lands under £2 and looks like something you would photograph and post online. The reason most home jacket potatoes disappoint is time. People rush them. Give a potato 90 minutes and it repays you with a texture no microwave can replicate. Number 20. Pan-fried mackerel with lemon and capers. Fresh mackerel fillets cost about £1.50 for 2. One of the most underrated fish in Britain. Score the skin, season with salt, and lay skin side down in a hot pan. Press flat with a spatula for 30 seconds. Cook for 3 minutes until the skin crisps and goes golden. Flip and cook for 1 minute. Squeeze lemon over it and scatter capers across the plate. Total time, 5 minutes. About £2 per person. A seaside restaurant in Cornwall charges £14 for the same plate. Most people avoid mackerel because they have only had it from a tin. Fresh mackerel is a completely different experience. Crispy skin, buttery flesh, sharp lemon. Restaurant food hiding in plain sight at every fish counter. First pattern break. Here is where things shift. That jar of curry paste sitting in your fridge door is the single most powerful shortcut in British home cooking. A tablespoon of Patak's Madras paste, fried in oil for 30 seconds until it blooms, transforms a tin of chopped tomatoes and a tin of chickpeas into a curry that rivals your local Indian takeaway. The paste already contains the spice blend, the heat, the depth. You are not cheating. You are doing exactly what takeaway kitchens do every night. They do not grind fresh spices for your Tuesday korma. They reach for paste, and so should you. Add coconut milk for a creamier sauce. Stir in frozen spinach for saag. Drop in leftover roast chicken for a tikka. Each version costs about £1.50 and takes 15 minutes. We spend £8 on a delivered curry that sat in a car for 20 minutes getting cold, when we could have made something hotter and fresher for 1/5 of the price. The paste does the work. You just add the protein. Number 18. French onion soup. This is the dish that bistros in Paris charge €12 for, and it is made from one of the cheapest vegetables in existence. Slice 6 large onions thinly. Melt a generous knob of butter in a heavy pot. Add the onions with a pinch of salt and cook on low heat for 45 minutes, stirring occasionally until they collapse into a dark, sweet, caramelized mass. Deglaze with a splash of red wine or sherry if you have it. Add a liter of beef stock made from a couple of OXO cubes and simmer for 20 minutes. Ladle into oven-proof bowls, float a thick slice of toast on top, pile on grated Gruyere or even mature cheddar, and grill until the cheese bubbles and browns. 6 onions cost about £1. The stock and cheese add maybe another £1. The entire pot serves 4 for less than £3 total. Every spoonful is deep, sweet, and savory. And that cheese pull when you lift your spoon makes it look like something from a food magazine. Restaurants charge a fortune for this because it takes time. and time is what they bill you for. You have time. Use it. Number 17. Fish finger sandwich done properly. This sounds like a joke, but stay with me. Buy decent fish fingers, the ones with a thick, flaky coating. Grill until golden and crisp. Toast 2 slices of thick white bread. Spread one side with tartar sauce, the other with butter. Layer the fish fingers across, squeeze lemon juice over them, and add a handful of peppery rocket. Press down and cut in half. £1.50. 10 minutes. This is the elevated fish sandwich London restaurants now charge £15 for, served on a wooden board with overpriced chips. The combination of crunchy coating, soft bread, sharp tartar, and peppery leaves is genuinely brilliant. This is not children's food. This is a proper dinner from the freezer aisle. Number 16. Sausage and mash with red onion gravy. Good pork sausages cost about £2 for 6. A kilogram of mashing potatoes costs 70 pence. That leaves the gravy, and this is where the magic happens. Slice 2 red onions into rings and fry them slowly in the same pan you cooked the sausages in, using all that rendered pork fat. Let them go soft and jammy over 15 minutes. Add a tablespoon of flour and stir it in, then pour in a mug of beef stock and a splash of balsamic vinegar. Stir until the gravy thickens into something dark, glossy, and deeply savory. The balsamic adds a sweetness that cuts through the richness of the sausage and makes the whole plate sing. Pile buttery mash on one side, lean the sausages against it, and pour the onion gravy over everything. Total cost for 4 people is about £5. That same plate at a gastropub runs 12 to 15 quid per person. The trick is the pan drippings. Never wash that sausage pan before making gravy. That brown fond stuck to the bottom is pure flavor. Number 15. Prawn stir-fry with ginger and soy. A bag of frozen prawns costs about £3 and contains enough for 2 generous portions. Defrost them quickly under cold running water. Heat a wok until smoking, add oil, then toss in sliced garlic and a thumb of grated fresh ginger. 10 seconds later, in go the prawns. 30 seconds after that, add a splash of soy sauce, a squeeze of honey, and a handful of whatever vegetables you have. Mange tout, peppers, pak choy, even shredded cabbage. Toss everything together for 2 minutes. Serve over rice. The entire meal costs about £2.50 per person and takes less time than it takes to find the takeaway menu in your kitchen drawer. Restaurant stir-fries succeed because of wok-ei, that smoky breath from a screaming hot wok. You can achieve the same at home by cooking in small batches and not moving the food for the first 20 seconds. Let it char. That char is flavor. Second pattern break. Here is something most people never consider. The cheapest cut of pork in any supermarket is the shoulder, and it is also the most forgiving. A 2-kilogram boneless pork shoulder costs about £6. Rub it with salt, pepper, fennel seeds, and a drizzle of olive oil. Put it in the oven at 160 degrees for 5 hours. That is it. No basting, no checking, no fussing. After 5 hours, the meat pulls apart into soft, juicy shreds that taste like the pulled pork you pay £9 a portion for at street food markets. Pile it into soft rolls with coleslaw. Toss it through pasta with chili flakes. Fold it into tacos with pickled onion and lime. One shoulder feeds 6 to 8 people across multiple meals. The cost per portion drops below £1. Food vans charge a premium for this because of the theatre, the smoker, the queue, the paper trays. But the meat itself is just cheap pork plus time. You have both. Number 13. Mushroom risotto. Risotto is the dish that terrifies home cooks and delights restaurant accountants. A portion of mushroom risotto at a mid-range Italian place costs £11 to £13. At home, it costs about £1.20. A pack of arborio rice is £2 and makes 8 portions. A punnet of chestnut mushrooms costs 80 pence. Add butter, a stock cube, half an onion, and a splash of white wine if you have a bottle open. The technique is simple. Fry diced onion in butter, add sliced mushrooms until golden, stir in the rice, add a ladle of hot stock at a time, and keep stirring for about 18 minutes. The starch releases and creates that creamy texture without any cream. Finish with butter and parmesan. The key that restaurants know and home cooks forget is to take it off the heat while it still looks slightly too loose. Risotto tightens as it rests. If it looks perfect in the pan, it will be stodgy on the plate. Slightly soupy in the pot means silky at the table. That one trick separates a £2 dinner from a £13 restaurant plate. Number 12. Homemade flatbreads with hummus and grilled vegetables. A bag of flour, a pot of yogurt, and a pinch of salt make flatbread dough in 5 minutes. It cooks in a dry pan in 60 seconds per side. While they puff and blister, grill courgettes, peppers, and red onion with olive oil and salt. Blitz a tin of chickpeas with tahini, lemon juice, garlic, and a splash of the chickpea water for hummus. Spread the hummus across a plate, pile the charred vegetables on top, drizzle with olive oil, and tear the warm flatbreads alongside. £3. Feeds 4. Looks like a Mediterranean terrace. The flatbreads are the showstopper, pillowy and slightly charred, and made from ingredients already in your cupboard. Number 11. Carbonara. Real carbonara has 4 ingredients: spaghetti, eggs, pecorino or parmesan, and guanciale or pancetta. No cream. Never cream. That is the secret Italian restaurants will take to the grave, while British ones drown the dish in double cream and charge £14. Cook pancetta or even bacon lardons until crispy. Whisk 2 egg yolks with a whole egg and a generous handful of finely grated hard cheese. Cook the pasta, then drag it into the pancetta pan with tongs and a splash of pasta water, and take the pan off the heat. Pour in the egg mixture and toss rapidly. The residual heat cooks the egg into a silky, glossy sauce without scrambling it. Off the heat. That is the critical move. The whole dinner costs £1.50 per person and tastes better than 90% of the carbonara served in British restaurants. The reason most restaurant carbonara disappoints is cream. Cream is a shortcut that covers up the delicate egg and cheese sauce that makes true carbonara extraordinary. Number 10. Lamb kofta with yogurt and pitta. Minced lamb costs about £4 for 500 grams. Mix it with grated onion, ground cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, salt, and a handful of fresh mint or parsley. Shape the mixture into fat sausages around metal skewers or just form small patties. Grill or pan fry for 4 minutes on each side. Warm the pitta breads in the same pan. Mix natural yogurt with crushed garlic, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of salt. Stuff the pitta with the kofta, drizzle the yogurt over, and add sliced tomato and shredded lettuce. Each serving costs about £2. At a kebab shop, a lamb kofta wrap costs £7 to £8. At a sit-down restaurant, the same plate with a fancier name runs £15. The difference between yours and theirs is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Same meat, same spices, same technique. You just skipped the markup. Third pattern break. Nobody talks about this, but the single biggest reason restaurant food tastes better than home cooking is not skill, not ingredients, and not equipment. It is seasoning. Restaurants salt their food at every stage: the pasta water, the meat before it hits the pan, the sauce as it simmers, the plate before it is served. Most home cooks season once at the end and wonder why everything tastes flat. Salt is not a luxury, it is a tool. Start seasoning in layers, and every cheap dinner you make will taste like it came from a professional kitchen. A kilo of table salt costs 45 pence and lasts for months. It is the most cost-effective upgrade in the entire kitchen. A bag of strong bread flour costs about £1.30. A tin of tomatoes is 35 pence. A ball of mozzarella is 60 pence. That is enough to make 4 pizzas. Each pizza costs less than 60 pence, and if you get the oven hot enough, tastes better than any delivery. The secret is heat. Crank your oven to its maximum temperature and put a heavy baking tray or pizza stone inside to preheat for 30 minutes. Stretch the dough thin, spread a simple sauce of crushed tomatoes, garlic, salt, and olive oil, tear over the mozzarella, and slide it onto the screaming hot tray. 8 to 10 minutes. The base blisters, the cheese bubbles, the edges char slightly. That is a proper pizza. We spend £12 to £15 on delivered pizza that arrives soggy in a cardboard box. The dough takes 5 minutes to make and an hour to rise. The reward is a dinner that makes your kitchen smell like Naples. Number 7. Proper chippy-style chips at home. Every fish and chip shop in Britain charges you £3.50 for a portion of chips. The secret they all use is double cooking. Peel and cut your potatoes into thick chips. Soak them in cold water for 30 minutes to remove surface starch. Drain, dry thoroughly, then fry at 130 degrees in vegetable oil for 6 minutes until cooked through but still pale. Drain on kitchen roll and let them cool. Then crank the oil to 190 degrees and fry again for 3 to 4 minutes until golden and crispy. The first fry cooks them. The second fry crisps them. That is the entire secret of every chippy in the country. Salt them immediately. A 2-kilo bag of potatoes costs £1 and yields enough chips for 4 to 6 people. The texture is shattering on the outside and fluffy in the middle. The same chips you pay £3.50 for, made for about 20 pence per portion. Number 6. Chicken katsu curry. This is the dish that Wagamama built an empire on, and it costs about £1.80 to make at home. Flatten a chicken breast with a rolling pin. Dredge in flour, dip in beaten egg, then coat in panko breadcrumbs. Shallow fry in oil for 4 minutes on each side until golden. For the sauce, fry diced onion with curry powder, a teaspoon of honey, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and a tin of coconut milk. Simmer for 10 minutes, then blitz smooth. Slice the crispy chicken, lay it over steamed rice, and pour the golden sauce alongside. At Wagamama, this costs £12 to £14. At home, it costs less than £2, and the chicken is crispier because it has not been sitting under a heat lamp. The katsu sauce seems complicated. It is not. It is curry powder, coconut milk, and a blender. 5 minutes. Number 5. Shakshuka. This North African dish has conquered British brunch menus, where restaurants charge £10 to £12 for eggs in tomato sauce. At home, it costs about £1.30. Fry diced onion, garlic, and a sliced pepper in olive oil. Add a tin of chopped tomatoes, cumin, smoked paprika, and chili flakes. Simmer for 10 minutes. Make wells in the sauce and crack eggs into them. Cover and cook 5 minutes until the whites set and the yolks stay runny. Crumble feta over the top and tear bread for dipping. The colors alone make this look like a restaurant dish. Red sauce, white eggs, golden yolks, white feta. It all came from a tin of tomatoes and a few eggs. Brunch restaurants rely on this dish because the margins are enormous. Now you know why. Number 4. Beef chili con carne. Minced beef costs about £3 for 500 grams. A tin of kidney beans is 40 pence, and a tin of tomatoes is 35 pence. Ground cumin, smoked paprika, chili powder, and a square of dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate. That is the secret weapon. Brown the mince, add diced onion and garlic, stir in the spices, add the tomatoes and beans, then simmer for 40 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, grate in a square of dark chocolate and stir until it melts. The chocolate deepens the sauce, rounds the heat, and gives it a richness people cannot identify but always comment on. Serve with rice, soured cream, cheese, and a squeeze of lime. Feeds 4 for about £6 total. The chocolate is the reason most restaurant versions cannot touch yours. Number 3. Pan-seared salmon with crushed new potatoes. A frozen salmon fillet costs about £2. New potatoes cost 60 pence for a bag. Boil the potatoes until tender. Drain them and crush with a fork, stirring through butter, salt, and fresh chives. Season the salmon with salt and pepper. Heat a pan with oil until it is shimmering. Lay the salmon skin side down and press flat for 30 seconds. Cook for 4 minutes until the skin is bronze and crispy. Flip and cook for 1 minute. The fish should be just pink in the center. Lay it on the crushed potatoes and squeeze lemon over everything. £3 total. At any decent restaurant, this plate costs £16 to £18. Hot pan, skin side down, do not move it. That patience is worth £14 of savings. Number 2. Slow cooker butter chicken. A tin of chopped tomatoes, a tin of coconut cream, chicken thighs, garam masala, turmeric, a knob of butter. That is the ingredient list for a butter chicken that will make you cancel every future Indian takeaway order. Marinate the chicken thighs in yogurt, garam masala, turmeric, garlic, and ginger for even just 30 minutes. Fry them briefly in butter until colored, then transfer to the slow cooker with the tomatoes, the coconut cream, a teaspoon of sugar, and salt. Cook on low for 6 hours. The chicken falls apart into a rich, spiced, creamy sauce that is impossibly smooth. Stir in a final knob of butter and a splash of cream at the end. Serve with basmati rice and warm naan. The whole pot costs about £5 and feeds 4 to 6 people. A butter chicken from your local takeaway costs £10 for one portion and arrives in a foil container that leaks onto your passenger seat. Your slow cooker version is better. It just is. Number 1. The Sunday roast chicken dinner. A whole chicken costs about £4.50. A bag of roasting potatoes costs 70 pence. A head of broccoli costs 50 pence. A carrot costs 10 pence. Gravy costs pennies. For about £6, you can feed a family of 4 the most universally beloved British dinner there is. When it is done right, it rivals any carvery or pub lunch in the country. The secret is to roast the chicken at 220 degrees for 20 minutes to crisp the skin. Then drop the oven to 180 degrees for the remaining time. Roast the potatoes in goose fat or in the drippings from the chicken. Make the gravy in the roasting tin, scraping up every brown bit with a wooden spoon. Then add flour and stock. Carve the chicken properly and arrange it on a warm platter. Roast potatoes with shattered golden edges. Rich, glossy gravy. Bright green broccoli. This is the meal that defines British cooking at its best. Pubs charge £14 per person for a roast dinner. Yours costs £1.50 each, and you get seconds. The whole bird, the crispy skin, the leftovers for sandwiches on Monday. Nothing beats it, nothing. Here is the honest truth. Eating out is not about the food. It is about the convenience, the atmosphere, and someone else washing up. But the food itself, The flavors, the textures, the techniques, none of it is beyond you. Every dish on this list uses cheap ingredients and the same tricks professional kitchens rely on every night. Try one this week. Just one. Then come back and tell me if that delivery app was worth the money.